Testing 1, 2. Yeah, it works. Thank you, Bilani, for the intro. Thank you. Good evening. How's everyone doing? Can I just get a woohoo? That side, I didn't hear it. Woohoo! All right, cool. Let's get into it. My name is Llewellyn. Apparently, I'm an investor, but I'm more an inventor. That's basically what I go by. I feel like I always add things to what I do. I tend to do something, and then as time goes on, something else adds on, and something else adds on, because ultimately we're all infinite. You know what I mean? There is no limitation. You are more than what people think that you are. So, but more than anything, thank you for the opportunity. I'm here. I'm here basically today to share a couple of things with you today. And before I carry on, I'd like just people to just take out your phones and just switch on your voice recorder. The things that I've learned and that I've kind of come across are very ancient in terms of in their nature. The lessons came very painful, and they can and will change a life or two today. And it's very important that you tend to write things down or hold things or record them on your phone if that matters to you. But yeah, I've had a very interesting journey. I have, I failed my way to success. I have basically been through a whole lot of things that people don't want to talk about, and every single person has a journey. Every single person has something that they have to aspire and grow and basically manifest into, you know what I mean? And, I've always been somebody where since I was younger, and it's very weird for me today because my mom is here and it's the first time she hears me speak ever. So I'm nervous because she's here. I think I should have invited her, but it doesn't matter. But I've always been a person who was always creating and, solving problems when I was younger. I was always a person who kind of grew up just looking at things differently, Especially when I grew up, I was a kid. My name is Llewellyn. People were like, do you have a black name? I'm like, nah, dude, I'm Llewellyn. Went with Louis, so I was always weird. My first language was Afrikaans, so I could never speak any other language, So eventually I had to learn things as time went on. So I was always just this weird kid, But it was a blessing. I basically, as time went on, created things from primary school. I mean, I was making money at grade 8. I sold marbles. Mom bought me marbles at like 10 Rand. I think I sold them at like 80 Rand, and I got home with 100 Rand notes, I think, when I was in grade 2. And Mom was like, where did you get this money? I was like, yeah, but I bought sweets, and there's like leftovers for you. It was one of those situations, and she took me home. We went to the child who bought the marbles. We went home. We went to his house to give the money back, and my mom was like, okay, what's wrong with this kid? I mean, the marbles were 10 Rand. How did you tend to multiply? It was more about telling the story, And as time goes on, running a couple of businesses in high school and primary school and varsity, I ended up graduating with an economic science degree at Wits. Even though I hated it, I got kicked out once or twice at Wits. I did law, I did engineering, I was at UJ, I did a stint at VC. I've been through it all, you know what I mean? But in my final year of studying, we were partying a lot at the time, the Rosebank days, and it was a matter of drinking a lot Thursday to Sunday. That was what we did. The one day on a Sunday, we went out, and man, it was like, sure, like we're going out. And the next morning, I had class, macroeconomics 3. And I woke up in the morning, and I was like, this is 2012, August. And I woke up in the morning, and I was, for the first time in my life since birth, hungover, right? And I woke up and I was like, yo, bro, like, what is this? Like, explain to me, where does this come from? And, I had the idea, and a lot of people tend to think that when you get your big idea, it's because it finds you sitting there one day and then boom, eureka moment comes through. But actually, it's when you can be trusted with the small, the big can find you, right? And it's a matter of being faithful. And as time went on, I had the idea to create a product that helps people with the hangovers because I struggled with that problem at the time, And I went to Dis-Chem and I saw that they had pulls and they had all these cans. And I was like, but nothing in the market exists that's cool, that's like classy, that's like, for me. Like, I'm going to the clubs, I'm going to these places, I'm going to the casinos, I'm going to the hotels. Why is there nothing that's cool? And so years later, trial and error, 6 years later, we've created a product that is world-class. We have literally launched in Cape Town 2 months ago. We are getting requests to export in Australia, to London, Europe, the US. It is the world's first premium anti-hangover shooter, and it's called Lohocla, right? If you read Lohocla backwards, it spells alcohol. And it has natural ingredients